Okay, it looks like we hit the 12 o'clock mark. We're going to go ahead and get started today. My name is Christy. I'm Grow Nebraska's Business Development Director. Welcome to April's third Thursday training. We will have Joy Marshall joining us momentarily, and I will let Joy introduce herself. In the meantime, I have just a couple of housekeeping items. First up, we just finished up Marketech 2019 and had a great turnout, learned a lot of new information. We hope that some of you on here were able to join us. We want you to mark your calendars for next year's Marketech. It's April 15th, 2020. It's a conference you do not want to miss. You can already get registered as well if you go to marketechconference.com. Second, REAP is a big sponsor of Grow Nebraska. We do a lot of work with REAP. If you need any loans for your business needs, if you need help writing a business plan, if you need help with QuickBooks or any type of business training, and if it's something that Grow Nebraska cannot provide, we have a REAP representative in your area that we can connect with you. So please reach out to us. And our featured member for this April 3rd Thursday training is RCK Creations. They actually were on NTV with us earlier this week. And if you subscribe to our newsletter, which you should, we also just did a blog on them. So check that out. If you need any customized gifts for Mother's Day, graduation, weddings coming up, they can help you. Okay, with that, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to let Joy take over the screen. Just to let you all know, if you have any questions throughout the training, raise your hand and I will get notified. Everyone is muted at the moment, but I can unmute you, or you can also send a question privately to me that I can ask Joy. And then at the end, we will do question and answers as well. So feel free to ask while we're going live, but also you can ask at the end as well. So Joy, if you want to take it away, I do have you unmuted, so you are good to go. And if you want to share your screen.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, why it's not showing, and I'm working on it here. So, hey guys, you got to be patient with me. Unfortunately, there we go. Are we getting there? Do you see it now?
Yes, we are good.
Awesome. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. I'm Joy Marshall with the Performance Planners. And today we're going to talk about the good stuff with email marketing trends for 2019. A little bit about myself. I started Performance Planners actually back in 1995 as a strategic event and marketing director. And ironically, I've been very related with Grow and with REAP. REAP was my first trainer back in that time frame and helped me to get my business started and get my first conference going. So kudos to both REAP and to Grow. Thank you. Worked out in Western Nebraska, and then now I'm living in Omaha. So it's taken me throughout the state, and a lot of it's been through those projects as well. So if you have any questions, again, just go ahead and put them in the chat, and Christy will help navigate us through that. With that, we're going to work toward understanding the trends and what do we need to do to stay above their competitors. So now is the perfect time to do some planning, to stand out above that crowd, help you reach your goals. As you listen to the trends, think about how you can incorporate them into your email marketing plan. I encourage each of you to set goals, complete the project, and go back to those and review those goals and objectives to see if you've reached the goals and if you need to make adjustments to the plan to get a higher return on investment. That's the one thing that I probably find most is that people throw an email out there and then they get frustrated or discouraged because they're not getting the results that they think they need, but they've never really sat down and set any goals to see and then reviewed them to see if they've achieved them the way they wanted to see. So with that, email is a tool to get you going. It's predicted by 2020 that email will be used by about 3 billion people. That's still shocking to me because of the transition of all of the technology today, but this is one of the least cost-effective or least costly pieces than you can imagine, and in terms of the number of people that you can hit at one time. So the ROI on email marketing is $38 for every dollar spent, which is one of the reasons why businesses are using the email. Just like any marketing plan, your email plan marketing blueprint has to start with a smart strategy so you can catch your subscribers' attention in the inbox. That's why these email marketing trends are important to think about as you're planning. Today, I'll share trends and talk about some ways you can accomplish your goals with the new features that Constant Contact has to utilize, making your marketing efforts easy and more effective. Let's take a high-level look at some of the trends that are happening with marketing. Due to the rising expectations from consumers, marketers have to adjust to learn about their audience. So 84% want to be seen and treated like another person, like a person, not just a number in a database. So with that's why marketers are turning to a wide variety of sources in data to create more relevant experiences. The more data you have, the better you can create a more relative experience. Even with the privacy issues today, stats show that 79% of customers are willing to share data in exchange for personal engagements and contact from business, and 88% will do so with personalized offers. Would you guys agree with that? If so, have a thumbs up and tell us yes or no. Other data in the marketing world shows that marketing and commerce technology are increasingly connected, making personalized experiences easier with email marketing campaigns. Personalization data allows marketers to boost their efforts even more. With automation, you can send personalized, relevant content in a timely manner, which is especially important in a day and age where instant gratification is common. It kind of goes back to, have you been to a fast food restaurant, and if you don't get your meal within so many minutes, they're really too slow? Same thing. So how can we get that instant gratification even though that's not the case? So marketing automation platforms will grow by 95% in the next 2 years. All of what I mentioned leads to a boost in customer advocacy, loyalty, and helping businesses to build their brand. And for some reason, I'm stuck. There we go. In 2018, a survey conducted showed 2 of the main business goals for email marketing was to grow and retain the customer base and increase customer engagement. That being said, providing value is what gets people to trust you and share it with your friends, ultimately helping you grow your business. So now that we have a foundation with these trends, let's get into what we're talking about for today. So let's take a look at the agenda and see how we're going to create more personal and relevant experiences through targeting your email. Then we'll talk about how automation is becoming standard for small businesses and how you can utilize some of these tools to help you meet your goals. Lastly, we're going to talk about how to get people to talk about you and spread the word by providing value in your emails to grow your business. So let's dive into the first trend. First, how many of you are familiar with the idea of sending targeted emails? You'd raise your hands. That would be great. let me know if you are familiar with the targeting. Do you segment your audience at all?
Joy, I just want to jump in really quick. If anyone on here does not know how to raise their hand, oh, there we go. We have some coming up. If you click on your chat box, you can raise your hand. And I will, once I see it, I can lower your hand once we see who all raises. But I just wanted to make sure everyone knew how to raise their hand.
Thank you, Chrissy.
You bet.
Targeting emails, or you're targeting your list, is absolutely key to all of this. So this may be one of the most important things that we talk about today, because this trend for sending targeted emails plays in other items as well as we go on with our conversation today. At the highest level, sending targeted emails, the information you are sending is relevant and timely to the right people. All of your subscribers are different, which means they're going to be at different stages in the buying process or have different issues. So even if you're a bike rider, we could be at totally different levels. I need to be on a training bike where somebody else is going to want something else. I know you can picture me on a training bike, right? So not every message will be relevant to every subscriber. In fact, if you send the same message to everyone, you're likely to get results that diminish because people start to feel like your content is irrelevant. Stats actually show that 52% of the consumers are likely to switch brands if communication isn't targeted or relevant to their needs or interests. Obviously, you may want to take time to create a unique newsletter for everyone. Although I'll show you a few features that allow you to update your content newsletter for each audience dynamically, so you can create one newsletter that provides the right content. And once you start sending relevant information, you're likely to pay more attention. They're likely to pay more attention to what you're sending. In order to send those targeted list emails, you need to target groups, like type groups together, getting them the exact same information that they need. So going back to somebody that's got training wheels on their bike, they don't want somebody that has a 10-speed or whatever. So you can tell why I need training wheels, because the message is going to be different for me than it is for somebody else. So let's take a look at a few of these examples and a few of the tools in order to segment your list. I don't know why my computer is all of a sudden just not wanting to move over.
If you roll your mouse over it, Joy, and just click, it should.
Now it's going to go all over the place because I've been clicking it too many times, huh? Go figure. Okay, so yep, it happened when it wasn't supposed to happen. But okay, now let's look at another example. This is a B2B or business to business email. They might segment their list based on prospects, so they can really learn about credibility and the value. They might also segment their people on what they're interested in by their monthly newsletter, and also based on types of services people are interested in and are using. There are a variety of tools that you could use to segment your list. But let's take a look at another example. So they could send an email featuring a couple of different services to see what people are interested in. In this particular example, they send an email to their new leads. They're featuring their website as well as their local or their social media management service. With the click segmentation tool, they know that people are interested in these services if they click. Raise your hand, guys, if you would, and to let me know if you have one list and send that newsletter to that one particular list to everybody, or do you have segmented lists? So let's say that if you raise your hand, you utilize one list. That makes sense?
It does. So raise your hand if you do not use segmentation is what you're saying, correct?
Yep. Yep. If you just use one list to all your customers. And I'm not seeing any hands, are you?
I'm not.
So that's a good thing, guys. Pat yourselves on the back.
Oh, we had one come up.
Okay. Well, this is great. So this is such an important piece. And again, it goes back to what's the information that you're wanting versus what the information somebody else wants. Sending out information to everybody is going to create more emails in an inbox, and they're going to say, you know what, this doesn't match what I need. I'm going to get rid of it. So that's why we're going to segment everything that we can to get it down to where it's really moving the business forward. So this is going to be great for those that collect it, and then great for those that don't collect it as well, because that'll get you started on the right path. If you're familiar with this tool, great, and if you're not, let's go on. So let's look at another example. This one's for a bakery, which can be used for B2C, or in reality, it can use to B2B as well. So if you're doing if you do customer service appreciation events, this would be a great place where B2B would come in as well. To start that, they might segment their list based on customers at each of their locations. So they have 2 locations. They might segment it from one location to the other. It allows them to send to special promotions relevant to the locations, as well as special events happening there. They could also have a group of people who want to stay up to date on weekly specials. And then a group of them are all commercial accounts who sell their baked goods. This will allow them to keep people up to date on any commercial discounts and product updates, so that they are up and know about it on a daily basis or weekly basis, whatever the case may be. Again, there's a variety of tools that you can use to accomplish this segmenting. And this is just an example of it. They could use click segmentation to find out who's interested in receiving the weekly specials. So let's talk about another way. So the bakery has different locations, and they also have people who want to receive their weekly specials, which are often in different locations. They can do this easily by using the tool that combines multiple criteria that they know about their customers, such as the contact activity, list membership, and contact details. Now, in this particular example, in Constant Contact, they've created a segment to where we're going to look at Nebraska and who is in the catering, because I'm going to really do B2B, because I want to sell my cupcakes to another caterer, because the caterer they need some help getting it out there, and I need some help getting it out there. So it's a win-win situation. So I'm going to sort and segment my list to get caterers. That way they're sending the correct specials to that particular group of people. Now let's look at it in a nonprofit world. I know I think we have a couple of people in the nonprofit world up here as well. So let's look at that. They have a different group of lists that we're going to look at. So they could be donors, current or existing, or new donors, or even our annual giving level, since people donate for different reasons and need to be followed with relevant messages afterwards. The writers in their program, so they can keep them up to date on the schedule and activities that are happening. And then even the volunteers. It's a good communication tool to keep each one of those segments separate. With that, we've got a few organizations on the webinar again that have that nonprofit So what you can do then is connect your account to a tool, for instance, donor management, from Constant Contact to the donor Perfect, so which is a software that they can talk to each other then to help you with your segmentation. Tools like these allow you to sync your donors into segmented lists that allow you to target the right people with the most relevant messages. Does anybody have any questions about that? In the integrations tab on in your account, you'll find a variety of other tools as well as linking to the marketplace to search for others. If you're a retail business, you could connect a shopping cart program to Constant Contact to accomplish something similar as well. Some of those most popular tools are Shopify and BigCommerce, but there are tons of others. And this brings me to the thought of when you have looked on the web for something and you've clicked on the new swimsuit that you want to get into, then all of a sudden, do you remember getting another email or an email shortly after that says you've looked at this? This could be an automated email piece. When you've gotten an email from someplace, you've clicked on it, and then all of a sudden you get several different emails. It's through the automation tools that they have on their website. Are you thinking at this point, this is going to take a lot of time and I don't have time to create multiple emails for different groups of people? Raise your hand if that's a thought that you're thinking, that you don't have the time to do this. The good news, though, is that it really doesn't take as much time as you think. Once you get it set up, it's really easy to work with. That's why using dynamic content in your emails is important. So let's look at an example of a bicycle shop. They've only got time to create one email this month. So with that, they're going to create one email that has to be relevant to a lot of people. The information on sale that needs to go to all their subscribers, but they want to include information that's relevant to specific people. They're really the only way to create one email in this case. So they start with one email. All of the people are going to see the information about the sale. So the slide that's up there is what everybody is going to see initially. But here's what it looks like if they want to segment people with kids. So because they've noted that in their segmentation that they have kids, the system is going to show only this to the people that have kids. Also, if they've got people who are recently made a purchase, so they can keep their bike in great shape, they could add that on for the next segmentation. Now, the issue there could be, though, if a subscriber is noted with both having kids and with recent purchase, that would make the email a lot longer. So they would have both of those items with the number 2 and number 3 on there. So to make it longer, but it also would be pertinent to that person. But that's all through automation and with click segmentation. Here's an example of the dynamic content tool. You'll see that in the Email Plus package that you can target groups of people based off of details stored in their profile, like custom fields such as city and more. It takes just a few minutes to set up, and you can have as many pieces of dynamic content as you want. Just keep in mind that if someone happens to fall in all of the different categories, that content that they see is going to be, again, a longer email. And they say a rule of thumb is if a person has to scroll, you're going to lose them. So you try to keep it as short and sweet as possible. Now let's look at, why you're targeting emails is important. Let's switch gears. We're going to now look at the second trend of how automation can play a role in your business. The truth is that marketing automation has become standard with small business. Automation will save you time and effort. Plus, when you take the step to segment your list, like we've discussed earlier, you amp up the power of your email marketing efforts. This is because you can send relevant information in a more timely manner. If you can send a follow-up to someone while they're still interested in a product or service, you're more likely to keep their attention and get the sale. Let's take a look at a few stats on why automation is important. Business to consumer marketers who connect with customers through automated emails see conversion rates as high as 50%. Subscribers that receive welcome email show 33% more long-term brand engagement. And automation is a great way to nurture new contacts and leads, leading to 47% larger purchases. So if it's not currently part of your email strategy, it should be something you consider this year. It may take some time to get it up and running, but you won't have to worry about it once it's completed. Although there are different types of automated types of emails out there, we're going to focus on 3 different types today. The first is birthday and anniversary emails, because they are an easy way to engage your audience and keep your organization top of mind without a lot of effort for you. In turn, this helps you to get higher opens, more clicks, and even better return for your email marketing investment. You'll be able to improve loyalty, retention, and generate long-term business. For birthday emails, you can send a special message. Let them know you care. You can include a coupon, a free item, or a complimentary service that will bring them back to your business. Something that I've thought about with the email birthdays, though, is think about when your birthday is and how many emails you get on your birthday date. So how about being creative and doing a half-year birthday or something? Because they're not expecting it at a half-year mark. For instance, if your birthday's in December, many people times will celebrate it mid-year instead of December. How about doing that with your birthday email campaigns? We know that it's their birthday this month, but let's do it at a different time because it's going to catch them off guard. Keep them up and wake them up. Just a thought. Anniversaries. Anniversary emails don't have to be a wedding anniversary. It can be a way to celebrate or acknowledge an annual milestone with your business, or it can be a membership anniversary. If they've been a Grow member for 5 years, Grow could send out an email on their 5-year anniversary of being a member at that point. Or a renewal notice. If their membership renewal is up, you can put that in here and have an automatic send. Or even re-engagement letter that encourages them to do business with you again. The second type of automation is a series of emails that can be triggered after a contact has taken an action in an email or is added to a connected contact list. You can use a series of onboard new customers and even engage existing customers. You have the ability to create as many series as you need and provide information, and will encourage them to make a purchase or get involved with your organization. You can create a series of emails to help you achieve just about any goal. Let's take a look at a few examples of that. The first type of email series that you could use to take action, I'll call it an action series, is if you know people who are interested in a specific product, service, or topic, you can use 3 emails to entice them to action and get involved. So the first email series, you can provide reasons why you should join or or buy from the program. The second one, you can highlight a unique aspect and differentiate your product, how you differentiate your products. Then the third email, think about trying to get someone to take action by invoking fear or missing out. And I'm not fond of the word fear of missing out, but it's the anticipation of, I got to get in there because there's only 10 spots open. And they've sold out to 8. So I got to get in there. Showcase that success of your product and why you don't want to miss out. Another example is called onboarding. After you make a sale, it can be beneficial to provide a series of helpful information that ensures success with your product or service. Email 1 thanks them for their purchase, provides them some getting started information with essential things they need to know. After the purchase, it's important to keep people engaged and interested in whatever they've purchased. So we recommend sending that email 1 day after the purchase. Then for email number 2, you can include some educational information that helps ensure that they know where things are and how to be successful with your product or your service. Then in the third email, ask for their feedback. You can link to a page with details on your referral program and ask for a review. Anticipation series is a great example of launching a new service or running an event or a training. This anticipation series is because it helps to create excitement for something happening at your event. This particular example includes 2 emails. The first email of the series provides preparation information for that event, and the second provides more educational information. For that email, you want to think about the things that are going to help your attendees or consumers be successful. These 3 series examples are a great pair that will click with click segmentation tool that we talked about earlier. If you know someone that's interested in a topic, product, or event, you can trigger relevant emails. What do you think are some of the best ways to boost your open rates? You guys have any thoughts on that? What have you done to increase your open rates? Can they put something in a chat box, Christy?
Yeah, absolutely. They can type it directly to you or me or send it to everyone.
Awesome. I would love to hear what everybody has done for their open rates.
Well, I can tell you, I actually use it's a free service online, and every time I send an email out, I go over there and test it, and it gives me a rating, and I get plus or minus based on different things I put in the title, and it has increased our open rate about 4%. So
wow. What's the product?
I knew you were going to ask me. Let me pull it up quick.
Is it a fee or free based?
Free.
Free. Mm-hmm. Even better yet, guys.
It is. Oh, it's pretty easy. Subjectline.com, and I can put that in the chat.
Perfect. That's a great little tip. Subjectline.com.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And then did you see, can you open the chat box? Can you see it, or do you need me to?
I cannot see it.
Okay, so Kelly just put a note. She said, we changed the look of our newsletter, and it's now a downloadable PDF. While this goes out to all of our members, our open rate has jumped.
Awesome. It's those simple little tasks that when you really evaluate what you're doing with your emails, and it doesn't have to be just emails, it can be your marketing plan in general. By looking at those little things, how can I improve it? And what do you got to lose if you try it and it doesn't work? you reevaluate and go forward and try something new. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, and Shelly just noted that she's used subject line as well and had great success. And she also used one with keywords. Oh, she can't remember the name, but maybe if she does, she'll share that as well.
That would be great. Excellent. Thank you, guys. Okay. Well, let's talk about another really simple option, automatically resending your email to non-openers. Have any of you used this before? Raise your hand if you have. This is the one thing that I have to say has really changed my email marketing. I used to send out an email called Monday Motivation. Well, guess what, guys? When Constant Contact came up with this new resend option, I couldn't send it out on Wednesday when it was a Monday morning motivation, right? So I had to change it. So I ended up changing it to weekly motivation. Now I still send it out on Monday. And when I started out, Mondays really are not a good day to send. But I had already started out. I've done this for many years now, so I can't switch it up, right? But I can switch it up. So what I did is I did change the name to weekly motivation. I still send it out on Mondays, but now I send my resend on Thursday, which is a better day to really send. And it has absolutely increased my open rates and my click-through rates. It's been phenomenal. So
Joy, I have to ask you, do you call it something else, or do you still?
I call it weekly motivation now instead of Monday motivation.
Perfect.
Yep. But a perfect example as to what and why. So for Constant Contact users, they're saying that it increased at 30%. It didn't increase mine 30%, but I would say it has increased it at 25% easily. And it has just, and it is so easy because it's when you set the email up, all you do is you click the resend, which is down in this little, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but it says resend options. And then you would click on the drop-down list here, and you've got the option to do 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 days. I do it every week, so that's why I wanted to do it 3 days. Also, another tip, and this was actually from 2018, is to put in, customize it by saying, "Dear Christy," or "Reminder, Christy, are you ready?" And that's what this little piece here in the parentheses says first name or. If there's not a name in there, it will default to whatever you have for the or. That also has increased my open rates by doing the customization in the subject line like that as well. Now that we've covered 3 types of automation, and ultimately you'll want to use all of them as part of your strategy, you can use a variety of these to reach your goals. So let's go for the third automation. Whoops.
I want to interrupt really quick. Do they go to your website, performanceplanners.com, to sign up for your weekly motivation?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I will, Shelly, I saw your comment. I will put her website address down here. And if you just click on it, it's actually on the top right. It says sign up for your weekly motivation. So it's loud and clear.
Yep. And it always includes, what I typically do is the format is a weekly motivation. I've also found that if I put on my motivation, if I have a graphic with the motivation, it also gets more click-throughs versus just verbiage. No graphic. It's another one is if I actually have a small paragraph, a short paragraph next to the motivation that kind of creates some synergy, that seems to get more open rates as well, or click-through rates at that point. And then I also put a tip of the week along with a client of the week on it. So it gives a little bit of boost to my clients as well. So, how to provide value to grow your business. Is there any other questions, Christy? Are we doing good? Or comments?
I think we're doing good.
Awesome. To get great results from your email marketing, you really want to think about the value of the content of your emails. So people don't like to be sold all the time. So let's take a look at a few of the stats. Gaining a new customer can be 5 to 25 times more expensive than retaining an existing one. So that's why it's really important for the content that you're sending to your customers is relevant to your business. Plus 47% of the buyers review 3 to 5 pieces of content before engaging with a sales rep. And 84% of consumers are most likely to take action based on personal recommendations from a family member or a friend. Plus, when people are referred by a friend, they're 4 times more likely to make a purchase. Would you agree with that? I know I'm that way. I just had a plumber here yesterday, for instance, and it was as a result of my neighbor behind me that said, oh, you got to call this guy. And he is always Johnny on the spot. It's not the first time I used him, and nor will it be the last, but he's great, and it's by referral base. Earlier, we talked about how email is one of the most effective marketing channels. With the ability to target the right audience in a timely manner, it allows you to drive leads, conversions, and build relationships that lead to loyalty. The most helpful content is to your existing customers, the more likely they are to do business with you again and even share with friends. You want to get people talking about your business. The real value of your email content is that it gives your audience an opportunity to get to know you, like you, and trust you. In addition to being relevant and speaking to their interests, it needs to enable them to overcome a challenge or learn something that they may not have already known. Think about the audience, your audience's struggles, and the benefits of your products or services. For me, for instance, much of it is time. How can I help free up time for you as a business owner? Whether it be through email marketing, through event registration, or planning your events. Time is an issue. So I really want to push that my events, any of the events that I do through performance planners is going to help you save time and money. So let's talk about a few ways that you can figure that out. So using your own content. There are 2 ways we're going to break this down. The first way is to writing your own content. And while that sounds really intimidating, it shouldn't, because you interact with your audience or your customers every day. You know them best, and you know what they want and they need. So as you think about this, as we go through this, think about the most common question that you get from your customers or your supporters, your donors, at any time of the day. Think about your frequently asked questions that you've gotten from your customers. That makes your content, that builds your content. So things that are in turn that content, take those frequently asked questions, put them in an email. Do you have a blog for your business? That's just another place that you can take your own content from. It's very likely that people in your email list don't always have a blog or don't know that you even have a blog. So check your website to see if there's areas that's valuable content. Think about the guides, the videos that you can put in front to solve a problem for your audience. In 2018, videos is also one of the items that they said 2018 was a leading email driver. I still think it is. They did not include that in this one, but I still think video is absolutely a plus. You don't want it long. It does not have to be professional. Have any of you heard of a person named Mel Robbins? She started in January. She did a 30-day of mindset reset. And she is an amazing speaker. And she comes on every day. In fact, while we were on here, I saw something came through that she was doing her live Facebook. You can't imagine how plain Jane that she can be looking, but she is the most vibrant person. I don't miss her talks every day at all. I will make sure that I look at it because it's short, it's timely, it's very informative, and it's very encouraging. So do you have to have a professional job done? No, not at all. It's the content that you want them to pay attention to. So you're going to always want to think of the experts also in your area, that you can create content based on an interview that maybe you've done to provide value to your audience. Share a script or an interview that you've done, or pick a few pieces of advice and put it in your email. Another way is to curate or share content that isn't yours. Or some people will call that repurposing. This means sharing news and content from trusted sources. Think about things that are happening in your industry. You know your industry well. What is it that you know that your customer doesn't know? That might be sharing industry news, infographics, or even blog posts. So as you think about the experts in your field, share their content and provide insight into what you find value of their expertise. This is a way to try to catch their attention, and hopefully they'll reciprocate a mention in your business in return. You can amp up the power with the content in your email by sharing it on social media. Just add some text in your post so you can mention their handle as well. Curating content for your emails can be easy because you don't have to spend a ton of time sorting through articles every day. Set up a tool there's a tool called Feedly, F-E-E-D-L-Y, and it's another great little area to be able to curate articles where you can share relevant information based on keywords that you use. It allows you to easily categorize the content so you can easily reference your favorite articles later on when you're creating your own email. If you are curating though, never hesitate. You have got to make sure that you give credit where credit is due. So if you're taking that, utilizing content from another author, make sure you link it back to the author as the original source.
What was that website, Joy? I want to put it in the chat box for everyone.
Feedly, F-E-E-D-L-Y.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, don't just make sure to copy and paste. Add a little bit of your own perspective in the article. Let your reader know why it's valuable. There's a couple of things to keep in mind when you're creating that content. First, make it visually appealing. Include a supportive image. Along with this, you can also include a chart or that infographic that we talked about that shares compelling data about the topic. Using stats or data is a great way to help you prove a point with the topic that you're writing about. Next, use video when possible and switch it up. Not everything has to be written content, and a video can even be more engaging to provide that value. Think about a product, tutorial, or a short video that you're sharing your perspective on a quick tip. You have lots of options. You can easily create a quality video with a smartphone or webcam, just like I talked about with Mel Robbins. There's times that when she's sitting at her kitchen table and her kids are running around in the background. We're all human. It shows the human side of her. And I think that's part of why I really enjoy listening to her. The last tip is to make sure that it's easy for people to share your content via email. So you can add the email social media block to your email and customize it to your readers to share with their friends and followers. When people see that you're a trusted source in the area of your expertise, they're going to be more likely to become a customer of yours and stay top of mind once they are. Plus, when they are happy and successful, they're more likely to refer you business and leave positive reviews on others to find as well, all leading to grow your business. So let's recap real quick. First and foremost, make sure you are segmenting your list by grouping together contacts together so that they're relevant to the information that's being sent out and taking action. Then when you're done, when you've done the work, tack on automation tools. So your relevant emails are going to send automatically in a more timely manner to keep them interested. Don't forget the importance of providing valuable content because people see success with your business and are more likely to spread the word. Now, if there's one thing that you're going to do today, turn on that click segmentation in your next email to get the process started so you can begin targeting your emails. Any questions?
Okay, I did have, not necessarily a question, but there was a comment that came in early on, and I think I need to bring it up and maybe we can address it a little bit. What if they haven't started sending out any email and they want to? What's the first step? What do they do?
First step would be to really gather up the emails that they have. These people know them. If you know these people, they can be utilized in your constant contact account. You cannot, I mean, you can, but I absolutely do not recommend it because you'll turn it into spam. And when I say turn into spam, that doesn't mean the stuff in the can. But they'll shut your account down if people report you as buying a list, for instance. If you happen to buy a list, it's going to go in a negative manner. So start with your own email list, the emails that you have in your Outlook or your Gmail account, and load them. As you're doing that, though, start by segmenting them yourself. If it's a smaller list and it's doable to go through, segment them. So, for instance, I might have a list that is nonprofits, and I have a small business list. I have a venue list for facilities, caterers. Segment each one of those lists so that when you're getting ready to start targeting, you're not going blindly right off the get-go. You can utilize those segmentation lists as your process goes on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. If it doesn't, please send a follow-up question. I did have one question, actually a couple, but sent privately. How do you set up third-party plugins like a Facebook email subscriber?
You would go into your Constant Contact account, and you actually have to be the one that is setting that up. So, for instance, if I'm setting up it up in my Constant Contact account and my email account or my social media accounts, I have to actually be the one that's doing it. Christy, you can't do it for me. And the reason that is because of privacy controls.
Sure.
It's a matter of putting, it's really not a hard thing to do. It's a matter of taking the time to get it accomplished. I absolutely recommend that never ever sit there and hesitate over something and get frustrated over something because you're not getting it done. Go to Constant Contact's help line. Their staff, their support system is above and beyond any that I've ever been with. And that's one of the main reasons that I really work with them. That really brought me to work with them is because their tech support is phenomenal. Even as an authorized solution provider, I utilize them on a daily basis because I figure, why am I going to fret over this when I know that they'll get it in a matter of minutes? So if you're connecting your account, you're not finding that it's working the way you want it to work, call them, or you can call her or do a chat box. If it's something that I really want to have control over learning myself, I usually call them and ask them to help me walk through it, as opposed to them doing it on the backside.
Sure. And they would help Anyone like that, not you because you're a certified?
Yep. Anybody that has an account through them, they work with. Absolutely.
Perfect.
They are absolutely outstanding at that.
So maybe as a side plug-in is if somebody on here did not have a Constant Contact account and would like to sign up for one, can they reach out to you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And until the end of this month, there is an option of $25 or 25% off of 3 months for an account. And if you go to my website and click on there, you can actually start a free account. And I highly recommend the free accounts to begin with in the first place, because then you can play with it. You're not limited you're limited to sending out 100 emails at a time. But other than that, your functionality is not limited. And I highly recommend it. They don't ask you for a credit card. If you are a paid client of mine, so for instance, if you go to performanceplanners.com and sign up through my account, and then you get a paid account, once you get a paid account through Performance Planners, I will also get you the first campaign design free that actually looks like your website. And that's at a $100 value, $99 value. And then you'd also become one of my client spotlights.
Perfect. In your emails. Wonderful. One more question, then we have to wrap it up. If somebody starts out and has all of their email addresses in one spot, how do they go through? Can they go through at that time and then segment them out, or would it be only for new people that come in after they have their segmentations done?
It would be after you upload your account and you actually send an email out, that's when you start segmenting them.
Okay, perfect. Well, if you want to stop sharing, Joy, I'm going to take back over.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, a reminder to everybody that's on, we will be sharing this recording. This has been recorded the whole time, so you can come back and access this. You can also see Joy's email here. If you have any questions, you can also email myself and I can get in touch with Joy. But Joy, thank you again for spending an hour of your day with us. We greatly appreciate it. This has been great for us. We have even some of our Grow staff on listening, so thank you very much. Good, thank you. Yes, a couple more things before we wrap up. I know we're hitting that 1 o'clock mark, so I want to be quick. We have a Google live stream coming up on Wednesday, May 8th. You can obviously stream it live if you sign up for it. Or again, you can get the recording. So make sure you go to grownebraska.org to upcoming trainings and get this scheduled. There's also 2 more, one in July and one in October, and they're already on the website. You can get signed up for all of them right now, and we will send out reminders. So make sure you get on that. May's third Thursday training is May 16th. You can also get on our upcoming training and register for that. And that is all I have for you today. So we're staying below the 60 minutes, what we try to always do. Thank you everyone for joining us today. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to Joy or myself. Thanks, Joy.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.